Hey guys and gals, I got another one for you today. Today I am going to talk about ranked battles and show you some gameplay. And this time around, the ranked battles are messed up. Corellia is the only map that's coming in currently. I don't know if they'll have that fixed by today because I made this video last night. But this is from last ranked battles and we're on Ensk. So I'll talk to you a little bit about the map first. And really this portion of the map is to me the most important. However, if your team decides to take the field, you might want to set up a defense back here because heading over down the 1-2-3 line, even though it's the most important in ranked matches, it's so important to stick together. You at least want to be in firing range of your teammates, that way you guys can all cover each other. You still need to make progress on the map, but I mean, what am I trying to say? If your team isn't doing anything, then just have a high damage game be the last one alive, so that way you don't lose points in the ranking system. Does that mean don't go for the win? No, but it means don't separate yourself because the red team is looking for tanks that they can isolate. And that's really what your team should be doing. 7v7. Everything happens so much faster, and they do have smaller maps to be able to dictate this a little bit better or quicker, but it's more imperative in my opinion to have teamwork, and a lot of times you don't have communications with your team, so you have to just kind of pay attention to the mini map. So I tried to side scrape that 705A and I did a really poor job, so we got a pen in on me. And I switched to my Hesh rounds and I'm trying to splash his engine deck, but I can't get it. He pens me again. So I know I'm going to reload before him, so we're going to try to throw one more in at him. And that doesn't go, so we're going to take care of this E100. Alright, so we get shot into his lower plate. He's looking over at my teammates, so we get free damage here. And to me, Ensk is about either A, being patient and waiting for the red team to push one at a time, or B, push together as a unit and win. Those are the only two ways that you can really effectively win this side of the map. So if your team is playing and I don't know what that IS-4 is doing, what technique that is, I have no idea. Don't recommend it. Driving reverse sideways in front of your opponents is usually never a good tactic. But yeah, sticking together, and since my team isn't pushing forward anywhere, the Chieftain really isn't a heavy tank that can push flanks, but it has a magnificent gun, so it can support really well. It's got decent armor. Usually in ranked battles, people are spamming prem rounds, and I'll be honest, you'll see me shooting more prem than usual. But you're in it to win games, so your shots count. Your shots mean more. Alright, so this looks like we're going to lose, but I haven't given up yet. So I'm going to try to out-rotate them. They're rotating around the right side of my team, so I have to rotate around the left side and try to keep them distracted or pinched down. And I'm doing a wonderful job of keeping this E100 pinned down. Really, I think I should have taken that IS-4. I don't know if he did any damage to me. Maybe another shot into this guy's drive wheel. He's got to be thinking what a pain in the ass I am. And get a shot out of him, and he was shooting HE there, so that hurt. I'm going to shoot him in the collar, take him down, and then we're going to use this pile of rubble to sneak a shot into the IS-4's lower plate. Now I want to get back to my team. I know that 705A is still dug in there, and I really, with this low amount of hit points, I can't battle a 705A, right? So I need to try to keep my heavies alive to be able to battle till the end. I get a shot into the 57 heavy's cheek, and then he bounces his second shell after he tracks me on his first shell, and I'm trying to close the distance because if I can get him to shoot my turret, then I'll be good. But it looks like he was reloading anyways, so we shut him down, and this is actually looking like we might be able to do this. So get a shot into that E100, and our IS-7 kills their Death Star, and then unfortunately their E-100 kills our IS-7. So I got a 1v2 here, and the E-100 is down to 1300, but that 705 is still healthy because he was just patient and got opportunistic shots. As I'm back around the corner, I fluff my shot, and he gets his shot into me. So this is kind of where I started the Silver League. Once you complete the Bronze League, you get a 100 points to go towards Gold League. And since I took Top Dog, you can see I gained 100 points, but then I lost 100 points because we lost. So I was the best of the worst, and that doesn't lose you any points. That just brings you back down to where you were. All right, so second game, we're in Liberty Falls. I'm in my AMX 54. And to me, Liberty Falls, if you go to the 890 line, you're in the low ground. So even though a lot of your teammates might go there, it's just really hard to get out of once you're in there. However, if my whole team goes that direction, I'm going to try to either A, give them cover fire, or B, push out with them. Now, to me, that is the section in the 1-2 line that is the most important. It's the high ground, and really when it comes to defending your base, all you need to do is turn around, go downhill towards your base. You can get back there fairly quickly, whereas alternatively, if like you get stuck in E9, you have to cross open areas of the map and climb uphill to get back to your base. So that's why I choose the 1-2 line on this, and you'll see how well defensible our team is in the southeast corner. Now I know I talked about this a little earlier, but didn't go into too much detail, and really it's, you don't want to trade your hit points, right? So get a shot into that 705A, he gets a shot into me, and just want to keep these guys spotted, trying to hold the map and see what it is. Don't get baited in early of thinking that you own this side of the map, because generally that's going to just bite you in the butt and put you in a bad situation. So we try to get a shot into the E100, but we have to wiggle because those are some big guns over there, and I don't want them to be able to grip my turret. So I switched to HE once again to try to splash the 705A's engine deck. And there's no need to push up. If we can force them into moving up, then we'll have the upper hand here. Now if my 3 heavies decide to push up, absolutely I'm going to go with them and help them push up. But you'll notice that they have some tanks that got free ride down to the J9, and where most people would freak out, our 2 heavy tanks and our scout are going to play this really well over there in that engagement. So I just can't find the shot on the 705A. I've bounced HE off his turret before, and then I just take another shot, and I realize that I can't just sit in this position and stare at the 705A. It keeps him distracted, but I at least want to be in a position where I can maybe hold down a tank and get some opportunistic shots when someone else pulls out, or the tank that I'm fighting pulls out and gives me a shot. So there's a hull down Super Conch, and that's probably just about as good as a hull down 705A, and I don't have a shell for the 30B, so I'm looking for a shot on the Super Conch. He bounces off my Super Conch, and now I'm wondering, should I go back? Do those guys have shots in me? And now I realize that our 3rd heavy tank went over to help them defend, and these guys up here on their team, so you notice red team separated, did not stick together. Their team isn't reacting to the fact that the rest of their team is pushing the other side of the map. So they're just sacrificing their couple tanks that they sent over onto the 0 line, and that's a reason why I don't go to the 0 line. It's too hard to fight uphill. There's no point in doing it. Ranked matches, you are generally up against better players. That's not always true, but you like to believe so. It was going to be a boring game. I really haven't done much, but the red team also isn't doing much. They're just staying dug in their positions, so it was kind of like a playoff to see who wins the 9-0 line. Now the Super Conk's starting to, it looks like the timer's going off in his head of like, okay, we lost the 9-0 line. I need to start making some plays to try to trade with these guys so we can make an advance. And same with the 705A. He's starting to push up because they can feel that since the 9-0 loss, there's potentially going to be tanks coming through the middle that are going to come up behind them, and they need to try to push this out. The 705A shoots my Conquer over there, and I probably should poke out and trade with him. I have enough hit points for it. Honestly, that was just a misplay by me. I think maybe I fell asleep right here. And my Kronwagen catches up to me, and I figure at this point, if he's gonna push, I'm gonna push. We'll be able to take this 705A out, and then it'll be pretty much clean up. But I was really just waiting for somebody to push, because you pay to push generally in this. If you're the one that pushes forward, you don't always have support, and then if you don't have a good game and your team loses, then you're going to fall down, right? You're going to lose 100 points, and that really makes you crazy in ranked matches. Okay, so they have one medium tank left. Not sure where he's at, except the only real place I think he would go at this point is probably to our cap, because he doesn't want to engage our whole team. Either way, he should have been participating, and it's the Reds lost this game because the two guys that separated from their team pushed too hard on a flank that they were undermanned, fighting uphill, and then B, because they had this medium tank that God knows did what. So my Kronwagen, he is aggressive, and he's gonna pay us off the win here. Excuse me. Now I'm gonna make this into either 2 or 3 parts. I haven't decided, and I'm sorry if I said that earlier. Honestly, guys, it's pretty late, and I am tired. And this had some good editing stuff that I had, or a lot of editing stuff that I had to do. So let's jump into the third match. This would be my IS-7 on Ghost Town. On Ghost Town, I feel like this is the meta right now, and in ranked, you don't have to cover as much as the map, but you want to be together. So position your tanks here, and if they get spotted like in D6, then you need to over-rotate against them. You can have like the same theory down in the bottom corner. So it's just a matter, to me, this map is all about rotating. You want to over-rotate the red team, but the difficult thing about that is sometimes you go to flank the red team and your team just sits there, or they just take forever to react to what's going on the map, and a lot of times you pay for it. So in ranked battles, I can't say it enough, patience is a virtue, and you're not always going to get the best teams, so you have to try to compete for damage. Now, I don't mean compete for damage by sit on your hands and then hopefully you do the most damage in the last minute of the game before you die, and then that's how you win. Or not how you win, but how you don't lose points. You really shouldn't play not to lose points. But I feel like I have a pretty good feel for it as far as like how my team sets up, how they react to things, and that's where you need to be patient. You need to be patient to see how your team sets up, how they're reacting to things on the map, and then that'll determine like how aggressive you can be, if that makes sense. featured ranked battles at all, so you guys tell me in the comments below if this is something that you want to continue to see. I am going to make a series out of it, so bear with me. And I don't know, like, I'm not a huge fan of ranked matches just because of the mix of teams and teammates that you get. It just feels worse than pub matches because 7v7 is just a strange number, and it feels like if two people mess up or aren't paying attention, then your team is just handicapped so poorly. Alright, so this looks pretty dire, and I had backed up to try to just support my E5 since he was full health and I didn't have many hit points. However, the 268 version 4 came around behind me, so now I'm trying to keep tanks in between me and the 268 version 4, and I'm hoping I can reload before this T57 heavy does. And do I get my shell in? Sure enough, I do. And we made it up to 2700 damage here. This is a fairly good game. We tracked the 60 TP, and unfortunately our tank is just beat to crap, so it's gonna be tough to try to finish this up. But what in the world took the team so long to rotate? And this is what I'm talking about. Like, me and this E5 should not have lived that long, for the first thing. Second thing, we did live that long, so what takes you guys so long to kill the isolated red tanks? Like, these guys, if you watch the map, where the red team wasn't even really together, it's just a matter of the green team it doesn't look like they trust each other, so they take forever to take down each tank. And then this is how you shouldn't engage a 268 version 4. Okay, you're a T57 heavy, you should try to track him there, or there, and then now you decide to drive behind him, and you're going to get behind him, but then you choose to shoot your last shell into the front of his armor rather waiting until you get to the side or behind the tank. That's a head scratcher. Alright, so now he's going to turn the 268 version 4 back around, and his teammate's going to run into him. Luckily, he doesn't take damage for that shot from the 268 version 4. And now the E5 is going to fight him frontally. Brilliant. Well, now I know what took so long. And 277 is going to ram the 60 TP, because when you're fighting a 60 TP in a generally fast heavy tank, you don't want to try to drive around its turret or its gun, because it has the slowest turret traverse out of all of the tier 10 heavy tanks. And while he's face hugging it, he tries to shoot a shot into the track or something, when really he should have just shot the 268 version 4 in the side. So we do get through that. That wraps up the first part of the series. The nice thing about tier 10 ranked battles, you can see how much silver I make, and that's just because they have a ×2 silver bonus, and it makes them feel a lot like premium tanks. So we're going to go up another level, and then I will have the second video coming out tomorrow. So stay tuned. That's all I got for you guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.